Yeah. All right. Let's see. Let's do the new old logo reveal, huh? Oh yeah. Yeah. That's what the fuck I'm talking about, boy. Yeah. So we're gonna get a little 2-for-1 this week, I think I've got to be careful. I've got people that tell me that I sound too much like Theo Von on the solo podcasts. I don't know what kind of flip switch is in me. I don't know. You know, I kind of get it. I do, but I got to be careful because, you know, I just lose sight of what's going on, and before you know it, I'm talking about, you know, I'm just talking about different stuff, man. Just talking about different things, man. So, got to be careful. Obviously, it's important to be yourself above all else, right? I mean, goddamn. Hey, listen, boys, this coffee that I made today, can't say enough good things about it. And here's the thing. I got a first meeting phone call in about 25 minutes. So, we're just going to do what we can. We're going to live, laugh, love a little bit, and just try and kind of figure the whole deal out today. It's 107 degrees outside right now, but my hair looks messed up, and this is the only hat sitting at the table. I feel like a ring of heat starting to form around my head. But the thing about my hair is there's plenty of it. But if it's not dry yet, and also since it's longer hair, it takes longer to dry these days. But if it's a little wet like it is right now, you can actually see through it a little bit, and it looks like I'm balding. And I'm not fucking with that. You know what I'm saying? I'm not fucking with that. If I put my head down, for some reason I'm looking at the computer screen and you see a little peek into my scalp, you know what I'm saying? And then everybody's going to be like, "Oh, Dupe Dog, he's bald, dude. He's balding, dude." I ain't fucking balding, all right? I ain't. I don't know, dude. Hey, puppy. Come on up, puppy. All right. It's like he knows when I'm on the air, this little dude, man. He gets kind of pissed off. He gets a little moody that the focus ain't on him. You know what I mean? But what else is going on, man? Yeah, you know, I'll tell you this. My buddy Dylan came on the pod last week. We had such a good time doing it that we might just keep doing it. And so fight happened in New Jersey last weekend. Our dear buddy Sugar Sean had him a fight. And it didn't go the way we wanted. But Big Dylan was up there supporting, and because that's where he's from. So we didn't get to do a pod last weekend. So I'm kind of making up for lost time here. Just jumping in here because I had a spare 30, 40 minutes, something like that. Might do, you know. So that's kind of the update there. Really, I was heartbroken, watching the fight. I really felt like there was a path for us to win, and um, that other guy across the octagon is just really, really on a heater right now. He's really on a heater. I'm not sure if there's anyone in the world at 135 that could beat that guy right now. I just don't think there is. And it's just what it is. It's not personal. We can't control it. It's just... So, UFC 316 in the books. I didn't watch much more of the card than Suge's fight. I did watch Kayla Harrison, Juliana Pena. Those two. Here's the thing too, dude. I would make a baby with Kayla Harrison. I know she's got some adopted kids. I know, she's pretty swole, and that's why I would be interested, because I don't want to pay for my kids' college education. You know what I'm saying? I want kids. I want plenty of them, right? That college tuition, what is that? Like $40,000 a year for 4 years? One kid, $160,000. You know what I'm saying? So I don't care I don't care what it is that my kids do. I don't care. It's got to be something. I hope that didn't just affect my lighting. That's so fucking annoying. I got this light panel, dude. And just the last couple weeks, it's decided that if it's on for longer than 5-10 minutes, that it's just like, oh yeah, I'm gonna crap out here. It seems like we're at about 7. It's these shitty Amazon light panels, dude. I gotta listen. We obviously take this podcast pretty serious, right? So it's probably time we invest in some new equipment. But anyways, I'm not even gonna get up. If the lighting's shitty, the lighting's shitty. Like, fucking deal with it. I ain't too pretty anyway. But I would make a lot of children with Kayla Harrison. She's cute. She's very cute. Press conference, all that. I'm actually gonna do this. I don't know if that helps us or hurts us, but the press conference, they're kind of squawking at each other. It's kind of insufferable to listen to. And so I was just kind of like, dude, like this fight, we'll throw it on. Take a look at Miss Harrison. I think she's very good looking. I do. She's got a nice maternal energy to her. And she's obviously great breeding stock. So, not to objectify women here. This is all supposed to be complimentary. But yeah, Kayla Harrison, if you ever see this, hit me up. You know what I'm saying? We could talk business real quick. But so I watched that fight. I didn't watch. I heard Patchy Mix, hell of a name. He made his UFC debut, got his ass kicked by Mario Bautista, who trains over here at the lab, good friends with Sugar and Tim. So always rooting for Mario, and apparently he just whooped ass. Can of whoop ass. But yeah, we were heartbroken with the result of the main event. It's just part of it, right? We go out, we compete, and sometimes it doesn't go our way. It's just the way it is. It's life. You know what I'm saying? But we'll be back. We will certainly be back. But seeing all the talk on social media, I've really had to watch myself there. like just being on Instagram, just being on Twitter, just being on YouTube. Even YouTube, you feel like you're safe. YouTube has actually been the most annoying platform to be on after Suge's loss, because you got all these fucking. It's like, I guess when you're in a position where you got somebody that you know, that you care about, and people are talking about them online, it's almost like scary movies. Same part of the brain where you shouldn't watch the scary movie. This is just my experience, at least. You shouldn't watch the scary movie. But part of your brain is like, ooh, let's watch it anyway. You know what I'm saying? Creepy ass voice I just did. Ooh, let's watch it anyway. You know what I'm saying? And then sometimes you give in to and that's the lizard brain, right? That's the retard lizard brain. You know, primal, just kind of, it's not your higher self. You know, it's whatever part of the brain you tap into to get that dopamine that you pay for later. And so, you know, you see somebody that made a nasty video about your buddy, and it's like, well, I want to see what this motherfucker has to say. And then you watch it, and then the algorithm starts recommending a couple more, and it's like all of a sudden you're like bombarded with all this negative energy. And it's like, dude, YouTube has really jumped down my throat. Point being, with all these self-proclaimed gurus that are making hot takes about other people's careers, and it's just really, really, really infuriating. And in the last 24-48, I just don't even click on them. I'm like, dude, this is ridiculous. Okay, we're talking about couch potatoes, mom basement dwellers making YouTube videos about someone else's fucking career. It's like, get your own first. You know what I'm saying? I listen. I ain't in a position to talk about somebody else's YouTube views, right? You know, we're still, this channel, we're still in our infancy, right? And that's okay. But it's not like I'm sitting down cutting up footage of someone else's work. It's not like I'm leaving my face out of it, right? So because whatever I say, I'm accountable for, right? And to top it all off, we spend minimal time editing this thing. Yeah, I'll share my thoughts, I'll share my opinions, but this show is wholly unedited. It is pretty much completely unedited. So it's not like I'm sitting down cutting up footage of someone else's fight. Okay, it's not. It's someone else's work. It's not even my. You know, it's not even my work. And also, they're not putting their face on the channel, so they're not really accountable for anything they say. And you're spending all this time making a video about literally someone else, right? And then you get like 100 views. And you probably spent like 4 to 6 hours making the video. It's sad. You know what I mean? And like I said, if we're talking views, I really can't say shit. But I think the way in which you go about getting the views is pretty important. And it's not like I'm a basement dweller making faceless videos about how some other person who will never know who I am's career is like, you know, in jeopardy or whatever. It's like, fuck out of here for your 110 views, dude. But I've been getting those kind of fucking videos suggested to me. It just pisses me off. But what can you do, right? There's not much you can do. This coffee's got me zooted, bro. It's got me zooted. I made it. You know what I'm saying? What else? I really got, maybe about 11 minutes till I got to cut, jump on a phone call with a prospect. But I'm going to come back after the call, do some more time with y'all. But, shit. Y'all see that? Y'all see how damn it, dude. All right, hold on. Golly, now I got to go back. I was trying to pull up X, man. This is so fucked up right now. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to hover and I'm going to minimize. All right. Okay. Yeah, that's so fire, bro. Okay. Do I want to, okay, now I'm looking at my Twitter bookmarks right now. Do I want to remain grumpy? Or do we maybe want to go more lighthearted here? Yeah, I don't know. WNBA's been a little more interesting, thanks to Caitlin Clark. There was a whole kind of miniature race war in the WNBA. That was weeks ago, where Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese is ass as fuck, by the way, dude. Completely unbiased, objective basketball opinion. Angel Reese is ass as fuck, boy. She's trash. She's terrible. I keep seeing viral videos of dudes making serious cash just betting on Angel Reese to miss her first field goal attempt. Every night, people do this. And they make bread every time. And they make reaction videos. And the reaction videos are priceless. And those are going viral. So really, Angel Reese is putting on just by being ass. You know what I'm saying? Trying to think what else. Oh, here we go. All right. So we got Black Jeep Owners. It's a group on Facebook. And a white guy posts a picture of himself with his black Jeep. And he says, I totally misunderstood the group name, but I'm just going to roll with it. Proud new owner and loving it. Looks gray on that right side picture. Doesn't it? Let me think. I thought I had more on here. La, 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 la. Yeah, I don't know. I think I'm going to get a Zen. I'm going to jump on this call here in a couple minutes, and then I'll be right back with y'all. Okay? Sound good? Cool. See you in a minute. Okay, where were we? It's been a couple hours since I hopped off here. So we're going to try to get back in the groove. Try and show you a couple moves. Maybe hang it up in the Louvre. Louvre for my Americans. You know what I mean? No, it's start of a good week. I'm seeing some headlines that I can't quite ignore around the Cincinnati Bengals. Seems like every single solo episode we do, the Bengals are making headlines, and for not the right reasons. Today, you got our first-round draft pick, Shamar Stewart, basically saying what all the fans think. And that is that these folks are more intent on winning arguments than they are winning football games. And the worst part is that they own the team. Doesn't matter what anybody says. They don't have to change a damn thing. So we got our first round pick, Shamar Stewart. So on one hand, if you side with the player, you look into the fine print of his contract, and apparently he does have a young agent. If you look into the specifics of his contract, you'll find that the reason that Shamar Stewart is not participating in mandatory minicamp is because there is a clause, apparently, and I'm speaking in what's the word that you use when you're paraphrasing, right? I'm paraphrasing. In the specifics of Shamar Stewart's contract, apparently, there has long been a clause in rookie contracts where if the deal doesn't work out or the guy gets injured, that you can wipe away guaranteed money for that particular year. The Bengals tried to structure Shamar Stewart's contract so that if something were to happen, all of his guarantees for the entire contract are wiped away. And so you sit there and you think, like, why? What is their incentive to do that? If no other team has done things this way, why would the Bengals of all organizations be on the cutting edge of this? Ego. They want to see. These are the type of people you're dealing with, this ownership group. They want to see how far down the pipe on a deal they can get a player. There's a couple other headlines coming from the Bengals today. 6 months too late, the Bengals finally released Jermaine Pratt, who, if you're a Bengals fan, you know Jermaine Pratt contributed to arguably one of the best memories in franchise history when he had an interception late in the game against the Raiders to secure the first playoff win in the organization in over 31 years. And of course, I don't understand how we still have apologists on behalf of this organization out there, but apparently we do. We got guys in Twitter threads saying he was a trash player, you know, he doesn't deserve good treatment on the way out. Add him to the list. Look, here's the thing. When you release a guy this late and it's written on the wall the whole time, you are screwing that guy over because you're taking up time that he could otherwise have access to speak with other teams and work out a deal. And now I know Jermaine Pratt's going to end up somewhere, and he's going to be able to feed his family, and he's going to be able to put a roof over his head. But with that being said, you add Jermaine Pratt to a long list of Bengals players who were not treated the right way on the way out. It's a damn travesty, this organization. I could probably spend the next hour and a half ranting about the shortcomings of this organization. And the worst part is that it's all self-inflicted. It would be one thing if the Cincinnati Bengals ownership group obviously meant well, and maybe they were just a little incompetent. But no, I don't think at this point they do mean well. And I also think they're incompetent. I saw a photo of Bengals legend receiver TJ Houshmandzadeh at minicamp practice chatting with Mike Brown, Katie Blackburn, and Elizabeth Blackburn. And all I could think while looking at that photo is wondering, did he tell them what everyone else is thinking? My suspicion is no, because of all the photos, Katie Blackburn, who seems to be the main culprit behind all this bullshit. I mean, seriously, I've said it before. The lady looks mentally challenged in the face. Every photo, they're smiling. They're cutting up. So obviously, TJ's telling them what they want to hear. You know, you're meeting with this ownership group. They got all this power. They know they got all this power. And the second you tell them something they don't want to hear, they're probably going to try and wield that power against you. They seem like these kind of people. It's a damn travesty. At this point, what do you do, though? As a fan, what do you do? They know you're powerless as a fan, and they take advantage of that. See people in the comments and the threads saying, don't buy tickets. Boycott this team. But the city of Cincinnati, they're so loyal. They're so faithful. They're going to keep, and this is the downfall and the beauty of Cincinnati's fans, is they're going to keep showing up. And the ownership group knows that. It's very sad because they are taking advantage of you. It's very sad. In other news, Trey Hendrickson is not at mandatory minicamp. Apparently, discussions have not advanced one bit in terms of Trey's contract. And so as we get closer and closer to training camp, we get closer and closer to the potential reality that the best edge rusher in the league will not play for our beloved Cincinnati Bengals. I hope I'm wrong. I hope we look at this clip back in in September, not back in September, but ahead to September, and think to ourselves, wow, that was a funny time. But at this point, I just don't know. It's the nepotism. It's the egotistical nature of this ownership group. It's the implication that they know that you can't do a damn, God damn it, who the fuck's calling? If that cut the video off, I'm going to be pissed. I get all these spam calls, dude. And it's funny, if you decline most of these spam calls, if you decline them, they'll call you right back. And I had time the other day. I had time. I sat there and made it a point to make the caller on the other end of my phone, I made it a point to make them quit. And this motherfucker dialed me 9 times before he finally gave up and quit. I'm sitting here on the other end of the telephone against a fucking, I was about to say something racially insensitive there. I'm sitting across from, would you like to consolidate your taxes today? I can give you a loan. And I picked it up the other day, man. I said, look, you called me in the middle of a meeting. Could you stop fucking calling me? I said that verbatim. And it's just click before I can even get my sentence off. There's no respect. There's none. So I just got a call from one of them. That's what triggered that. And I had to, make sure it didn't cut the video here because I record on my iPhone. By the way, dude, I don't know if this is new at Sprouts. This is obviously not an ad. We got fucking 200 subscribers. Cove soda, probiotic soda. This is a This is an orange creamsicle, bro. No sugar, no bad ingredients. It's just Himalayan salt, among some other things. Erythritol. It's like a sweetener. Fucking tremendous, bro. Tremendous, bro. So, yeah, I mean, it seems like every time we shoot this podcast, we got a new Bengals headline, and it has not been positive. Not one time. We're over. Dude, I have a hard time. Like, how do the Brown family, how do they go out to eat in Cincinnati? They probably have to eat at their country club or whatever. Hopefully somebody that's a member there figures out how to raise hell. You know? We got folks in the damn streets in Los Angeles waving American flags. Waving flags of the country that they don't want to go back to. Burning the flag of the country that they are protesting to stay in. There's no way that this isn't being funded by some organization. Forget what those organizations are called that Elon Musk talked about on Joe Rogan. It was like G something. Who's behind this? Who's behind this? They don't understand the things I say on Twitter. Who's behind this? Look, I'm not trying to spew hatred, right? I'm trying to come from a place of love on here. Maybe I got to redirect my soul here as we shoot this thing. My children. Da-na-na. Stop. That whole taboo, that thing is crazy. I don't know, man. Let's see. It's like, what more can we do with the Bengals than complain on the internet? That's literally all the power we have. We could boycott the team, but then that hurts the guys, you know? I don't know. It'll be real peculiar to see if and when the Bengals continue this way. If anything's ever going to shake, or if the will of the people is just going to get broken and the side that shouldn't prevail ends up prevailing. Because it's really the Bengals ownership versus the people of Cincinnati. The ownership group of the Bengals has turned this into an adversarial relationship. I mentioned it on the pod a couple weeks ago, but when I went to the Bengals draft party and Zach Taylor went up there to speak, I was so tempted to boo his ass. If Duke Tobin had gone up there, the de facto GM of the Bengals had gone up there, I would have had to like hold my breath to not boo him. But then I thought to myself, I said, look, these guys are just talking heads of the ownership group. They're puppets. Why do I know that? Because I know that an ownership group is egotistical as this family. They would not accept dissent. They would not accept people in those roles that would not just, yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. Okay. I'll tell them that it was all my fault. Okay. They wouldn't be able to work with somebody that would say, hey, fuck that. This is wrong. What you guys are doing is wrong. Or what you guys are not doing is wrong. So we've got some of the best talent. Cincinnati has got some of the best talent on offense that I've ever seen as a football fan. In my 28 years of life watching football, we got some of the best talent on that offense that I've ever seen collectively. And no matter how much I mentally, emotionally prepare myself, I'm speaking for myself here for this season, and what a disappointment, it might even be, this would be the most Bengals thing ever. Could you imagine the 2025-26 season being more of a disappointment than the 2024 season? Could you imagine that? The disappointment we all felt in 2024. The fact that I believe teams in the NFL last season that scored 33 points or more in games had a combined record of like 76-7. And the Bengals record in games where they scored 33 points or more was like 3-4. Could you imagine if the 25 season is even more of a disappointment than the 24 season? I can't remember. In my whole history watching football, not just being a Bengals fan, I can't think of another team in my history of watching football that disappointed more than the 2024 Cincinnati Bengals. Could you imagine if the 2025 season ended up being more of a disappointment? It sounds impossible, but I think it's eerily possible for an organization like the Bengals. I think it's eerily possible. I think with the Bengals, you have to assume the absolute worst at all times. And most of the times, the worst that you assume isn't as worse as it gets with them. It's just, I could rant for hours, man. It's just impossible almost to not have a nihilistic view of this organization with the ownership group. I spent a year in an NFL building, and that was the year that taught me how important the ownership group at the helm was in regards to the function of the whole rest of the organization. It trickles down. And I think people are aware of that now, watching the Bengals organization operate in the capacity they're operating in. I think that's come to the limelight now. But I still don't think people understand the scope of how important a good ownership group with good intentions and passion for not just the game, not just the organization, but the relevance it has to the city in which it inhabits. I don't think people understand it, how important it is. And the worst part about it is when you have a bad ownership group, unless you're Dan Snyder sexually assaulting employees or whatever, I don't want to get allegedly, right? I don't know if that actually happened or not. I'm just like spinning for dramatics here. So allegedly, right? Got to use that word to not get sued. Unless you're Dan Snyder, it's kind of hard to push an owner out. Apparently, Dan Snyder, former owner of the Commanders, he moved to the United Kingdom and he was preying on the Commanders' downfall all year last year. And the funniest part about that is, obviously, we saw what the Commanders were able to do without his ass. I can only imagine what the Bengals would be able to do with the pieces they have if they had a competent, good-intentioned, selfless ownership group. I can't imagine. But how painful would it be? I've got to mentally and emotionally prepare myself. And I think anyone that's watching this as a Bengals fan needs to do the same for themselves as well. We got to mentally and emotionally prepare ourselves for a 25 season that is more disappointing than the most disappointing football season of all time in the 2024 Cincinnati Bengals. I don't even think this ownership group's embarrassed. I think they're just like, ha, we ran off with a bag, boy. We making bags regardless of what you think, boy. We go 7-9. We still gonna sell jerseys. We go 8-9, still sell jerseys. We could go 7-10, and the revenue's still gonna roll in the same. Because all you damn schmucks in Cincinnati, I'm not saying this, they're saying this. All the damn schmucks in Cincinnati, y'all keep buying season tickets. I could not imagine. I spent years in the sports industry selling tickets, and I've sold for a half-assed organization before. in the Arizona Coyotes, who don't exist anymore. I spent time selling tickets for a half-assed organization. All the onus is put on the sales reps. All the onus. This is how you know a dysfunctional organization. Let's say the owner's sitting up in their suite or wherever. You never see him. They don't have to answer to anybody. Somebody has to answer to the decisions the organization makes. And a lot of times what shitty, narcissistic, egotistical owners do is they put the onus on the public-facing roles within the organization. I can't imagine being a sales rep for the Bengals and having to face the fans talking about this stuff as a representative of the organization. I can't imagine. And again, the Blackburns, they're probably shameless in saying like, yeah, you deal with that, bud. I made the decision, but you got to deal with it. I'm gonna try and screw every single player on every single deal for the egotistical win of knowing I won the deal. I won the argument. And you're going to have to, you lowly sales reps, you're going to have to explain that to the people of Cincinnati, not me. It's just really, I saw all this stuff, by the way, in between shooting the first part of this show and now. So I've been able to digest it a little bit. So maybe, that's where this rant is coming from. I just don't know what we do as fans. I don't know what we do other than run our mouths online, make this known. And the thing about it is, I've talked about this before on the show too. The media is starting to get a hang of dramatizing it for the sake of fan outrage as well. So, the point is that like I'm done apologizing on behalf of this organization. I know I've come on here before and I've said, well, exactly what I just said. The media, they're kind of spinning this and they're making a thing out of it. But it's like, no, where there's smoke, there's fire. These people are narcissists. They're egotistical. They do not give a singular shit about the normal, everyday guy in Cincinnati that's grown up caring about this organization and what it means to the city. And it's just a fucking disgrace. If I ever met these people in person, I would regret it the rest of my life if I didn't speak up and say something to them. Don't think I'd ever get that opportunity. Be pretty cool if I did. But I'm sure some other Cincinnatians will get that opportunity at some point. And kind of like what Maxine Waters said about when you see a Trump supporter in public. Y'all remember that? I feel like this situation warrants that more times infinity than what old funky ass Maxine Waters had to say about Trump supporters. You know what I'm saying? I know it's real life, and sometimes I don't think politics is real life, but that's real life versus like sports. But also like sports are so culturally important, so culturally relative to the fabric of a city, the vibes of a city, especially football. In Ohio cities, in Pennsylvania cities, Detroit, Michigan, Baltimore, Maryland. Communities like those are elevated when the organization that represents them is thriving. And I think that the Blackburn and the Brown family are violating their fiduciary duty to uphold good vibes in the city of Cincinnati, because I think the performance of their pro football team contributes to the fabric. That's all. That's all I have to say about that. God damn, that was like a 30-minute rant. Let's get to some clips. Get y'all out of here. Okay, chat. Is this Riz?
Sorry, what did you say?
I said that you look absolutely fabulous.
Thank
You're
you.
both wonderful. I just want to come over and say hey, let you know that you are both muy hermosa. Gorgioso.
Thank you.
Yes, grandissimo even. But I don't want anything from you. I'm not going to ask you for your phone numbers.
King
I'm
shit.
not going to ask you for your online screen names. Nothing. I'm going to walk away and leave you alone. You'll never see me ever again.
Okay.
Yes. You don't even have to respond. This is where I leave. You'll never see me again. Goodbye.
Oh, wow.
King shit, dude.
Hey, that was actually. I like you.
Hey,
Sir, I'm sorry. Could we actually give you our phone number?
Absolutely not.
Absolutely. Would you fine gentlemen happen to know where a young man could find some fine shits around here? I'm going to ask you for absolutely nothing. The laugh in there too, dude. It's fire. I don't know. Guy's a good dude. He's wearing the Bieber shirt. You know, he's hanging out. He's doing his deal. And he wanted to walk up and say, look, you guys are muy hermosa. Hermosa. I thought, I don't know, maybe that's another word for pretty in Spanish, beautiful in Spanish. Bonita. I saw this clip of Connor. It's like an old clip. He was on a radio show, and they were like, "Do you like Latinas? Do you like mamacitas?" And he was like, "I'll tell you what, they are into me." They call me Big Papi. It's fire, dude. Oh, Lord have mercy. Trying to find some other stuff. I know there's good stuff in here. I know we got. Oh yeah. I don't think I've shown this on here before. This is.
You got anything to say over Jolly Green Jack? Come on, run your mouth. And I'll run mine. You know why. Look at his I got dirt on him.
I can.
I got big time dirt on him over.
Over.
You better watch him put the bruiser on you.
He ain't gonna do nothing but bump them damn gums is all he's gonna do.
He'll put the bruiser on you.
Yeah.
He'll carry you wide
Yeah,
open.
I'll tell you what, he's got a standing invitation anytime he wants to climb on them.
Hercules.
Climb on in
Don't call
here.
me Samson, get it right.
No, I'm calling him Hercules.
Well, call me Samson. I'll show him the light.
No, you're Goliath.
Come on, Scooter.
You'll be the giant falling down.
Yeah.
You're Goliath.
Yeah. Come on, Scooter, one time.
Don't knock him down in here. Hey, Pete. Don't knock him down in here. We don't need bust concrete.
You over there. Come on.
Can you imagine them two big old butt quicks in the
Can you imagine Mickey talking about me? Mickey's so damn big, he walked out there in the damn yard and turned around. It's his birthday. Took him that long to turn around in the yard.
Call me Samson. Get it right. Call me Samson. I'll show him the light. Dude, spitting bars, dude. And they're just sitting there kind of chirping around. Samson's talking about how he beat someone's ass. Climb over him. I'll show you what I got. Come on over here. Call me Samson. Get it right. Call me Samson. I'll show him the light. Dude's a bad motherfucker. You know what I mean? Dude's a bad boy. All right. What else, man? Always be humble.
As a matter of fact, I am pushing, Pete. That's pushing powder down my musket so I may smite another off.
Fire.
Put a beam on my blunderbuss. Your hood's not safe. Read it and weep, peasants. Read it and weep. I'm tired of hearing you lame say I ain't with it. Tell me I ain't got notion. I went to your hood and they don't know you. Embarrassing. Embarrassing. Single soul won't step to me, you're finna get splashed on wood. I'm not joking. I can buy every single one of your shooters. Matter of fact, let me buy your crib. Here's a $5 note. Fucking imbecile. The ops want to tell me to straighten my shit. Press my shirt with an iron. How ironic. Seems like just last week I was flying down your block, pressing your men with the iron. People finna say I ain't even active, that I cap in my raps and that I'm not next up. You ain't even been up, yet you still washed. How's that even work? This one goes out to the brother Prince Albert. Free him here and do nothing wrong. As a matter of fact, I am pushing P.
I don't even think I got anything to say off of that, man. Here's the thing, man. When somebody's wearing a collared shirt and they got a chain over the collared shirt, that shit fucking kills me, man. I don't know if I hate it or if it's so terrible that I love it. That makes sense. You see, as a contrarian, I like to say things. I like to wear things. I like to do things that get reactions out of people. It's fun for someone like myself. And I feel like wearing a chain over a collared shirt would do just that. So even though it's not visually pleasing to me, the essence of it is pretty attractive. Pause. No Diddy. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, none of that. I'm not saying men are attractive or whatever. Sometimes they can be. Sometimes you see a handsome guy walking down the street, you're like, damn, dude. That's a good looking cat. You know what I'm saying? Pause. As I sip on my cream soda. You know what I'm saying? Pause, dude. What else? According to a new study, people who repeatedly post about their workouts on social media are more likely to have psychological problems. This is from Brunel University, London. People that frequently post about their workouts often exhibit narcissistic traits. Posts are motivated by a desire for attention and validation. Study indicates that such behavior may be linked to underlying psychological needs for admiration. Exercise addiction, excessive sharing of fitness routines has been associated with that. It's very interesting. Some people are in there sticking up for it. I understand. Like, dude, there's no problem with posting something like that every now and then. But if every day you're going to the gym and your first thought is, where can I prop the camera up? Are you doing it for the right reasons? Are you there for validation, or are you there for yourself? That's an interesting one. I saw that and I kind of got a kick out of it, because you have your friends that are everybody's got their friends that are doing that. And it's like every day on a story, god damn. You know, because when you make content, like, that's something you start to think about more. It's like, okay, they had to find a spot to prop the camera. They had to click record. They had to walk over to whatever they were doing, do it, walk back to the camera, click stop, and then review it after the fact and put it on social media. That's what's interesting, is that, like, it's totally different if you're a full-time creator and you're cash flowing from this content, because then you're paying a cameraman to walk around and follow you around. Then you don't have to do any of that stuff. And then the the activity of making content from whatever you're doing is perceived completely different. But you have to get yourself to a certain point on your own actions. It's really interesting. I do think there's a lot of technology, a lot of stuff out there, especially AI-powered stuff that'll make creating content a lot easier, which may allow folks to start to perceive these frequent workout videos being posted a little different. But the thought I have whenever I see, you know, a normal friend or acquaintance posting nightly story videos of their treadmill or their Stairmaster is like, you had to like find a place to prop that phone. You had to click record before you went and did your workout. And then you start to wonder, why did you go in the first place? Even worse if you brought a tripod to the gym, you know. I used to make some reels when I was playing golf last summer, actually, and I remember it just being like, oh, at its surface, I was like, it sounds so easy to do. I'll just bring my tripod to the golf course. I'll prop it up. Maybe. I don't know. If I thought it sounded easy, I don't know why in the hell I thought that. Because you get out there, every shot, you got to remember to pull the tripod out, distance it the right way, click record, and then you factor in the Arizona heat, phone starts to overheat, or your battery gets drained. You got to rinse and repeat every single shot. So you hit your shot, you click stop. I was basically doing the same thing with golf that I was just making fun of with the workout videos. And I think when I posted them, people saw that and they were like, that took you some time, brother. What you playing golf for in the first place? And I think it got to a point where I was starting to stress more about getting a video done than I was just being out there, being present, and enjoying a round of golf. I didn't get my round in this week. I almost want to skip jiu-jitsu tonight and go play. It's getting so hot around here in Arizona, in Phoenix, that I feel like the strain of playing golf in 107 degrees is almost equal to that of having a 290-pounder inside control trying to hold you down. Probably not. Anyway, let's run something else here. Nice takedown. Pass. Oh, he let him reverse it. That's wrestling, dude. Shit ain't real.
What the fuck are you looking at?
That dog barking is just brutal. Yeah, I think that was fake. I thought that was real when I saved it. I was going to give like a commentary on it, but I think it was fake. Just based on the kicks at the end. The whole fight looked like they were punching each other with pillows. You could tell. I mean, you could tell they didn't actually want to hurt each other if it was a real fight. They're pulling punches and that kind of thing. Okay. He's swagging the fuck out of that burpee, boy. Look at that. He got stones in place and everything. All right. This is, I believe, episode 58. We're going back to In the Jar. That's what we're going to call this show. I'm going to do the official rebrand and everything. Should be pretty quick. Should be pretty easy. But Expect less of these solo episodes. We got my buddy Dylan. I think he's going to start coming on every week. So you might get a 2-for-1 this week with this one and then the one we film here in a couple days. But if you watch this far, I love you. If you're subscribed to the channel, I love you in a weird way. You know what I'm saying? Make sure to like, comment, subscribe. It really helps us out. And that's all. So I guess officially, thanks for watching In the Jar. We ain't gonna have no cigar, but a friendly face ain't far. Hey, I love y'all. We'll see you here in a little bit.